In a sweeping shift that may redefine the military balance across South Asia and signal the rise of a new era in asymmetric regional warfare, Pakistan's strategic decision to pursue the acquisition of China's HQ-19 long-range missile defense system represents not only a monumental technological leap but a historic recalibration of its defense doctrine. This ambitious military procurement, which reportedly includes the HQ-19's powerful kinetic-kill interceptors, long-range AESA radar, and a networked command and control suite, is part of a broader defense modernization drive that underscores Pakistan's deepening security alignment with China amid growing regional tensions and evolving global fault lines. More than a simple arms transaction, the HQ-19 deal marks the beginning of a strategic partnership that now transcends hardware, extending into joint doctrine development, operational training, cyber infrastructure, and multilateral deterrence planning. The HQ-19, often dubbed the Chinese THAAD in Western defense circles, is the People's Liberation Army's most advanced anti-ballistic missile interceptor currently in service. Designed for high-altitude exo-atmospheric interception, the HQ-19 is capable of neutralizing medium and intermediate-range ballistic missiles, MRBMs and IRBMs, including missiles with speeds exceeding Mach 10, and may even be capable of targeting hypersonic glide vehicles, potentially the future of global strike capabilities. This kinetic-kill vehicle, KKV, system, which achieves interception by direct collision rather than explosive fragmentation, is paired with a battle-tested X-band AESA radar network offering detection ranges upwards of 1,200 kilometers. In operational configuration, the HQ-19 can form the centerpiece of a nationwide, networked, missile shield capable of intercepting targets from sea-skimming cruise missiles to high-arching re-entry vehicles, a capability that Pakistan has lacked despite decades of tensions with India and the looming threat of nuclear escalation in the region. Pakistan's decision to pursue the HQ-19 was driven by an urgent need to offset India's acquisition of the Russian S-400 Triumph air defense system, which gave New Delhi a formidable multi-layered shield capable of targeting aircraft, drones, and ballistic threats within a 400 kilometers radius. While Pakistan has previously procured the LY-80 and HQ-16 systems from China, these medium-range surface-to-air missile (SAM) systems do not offer protection against IRBMs or exo-atmospheric threats. The HQ-19 fills this critical gap and positions Pakistan as one of the few countries globally with an indigenous or imported ballistic missile defense (BMD) capability. This development marks a tectonic shift in Islamabad's strategic thinking, from passive deterrence centered around credible minimum retaliation to an active defense model built on preemption, denial, and strategic depth. The geopolitical symbolism of the HQ-19 deal cannot be overstated. It reflects an extraordinary level of trust between Pakistan and China at a time when military technology sharing has become an increasingly sensitive domain. Beijing's willingness to transfer its most advanced BMD system, a system that has not even been offered to close allies like Iran or North Korea, demonstrates China's intent to consolidate its Iron Brother relationship with Pakistan into a full-spectrum defense alliance. The transfer is also emblematic of Beijing's strategy to build a regional bloc of technologically enabled allies that can counterbalance US-aligned coalitions such as the Quad, comprising the US, India, Japan, and Australia. Pakistan, already a key component of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor (CPC), is now emerging as a military hub within China's broader Indo-Pacific strategy. The HQ-19 is not arriving alone. Its deployment is expected to be synchronized with the introduction of the J-35A stealth fighter, a fifth-generation multi-role aircraft that rivals the US F-35 in radar-absorbent design and beyond visual range strike capabilities. Equipped with powerful internal weapons bays, AESA radar, and PL-15 long-range air-to-air missiles, the J-35A will provide Pakistan with an elite first-strike aerial platform, extending its air denial capability well into Indian airspace. Meanwhile, the KJ-500 AEWNC aircraft, designed to serve as a flying command center with advanced radar and electronic warfare systems, will create a seamless, integrated defense grid linking air, ground, and missile assets into a cohesive real-time operational picture. When combined, these systems will offer Pakistan a next-generation sensor-to-shooter loop that leverages data fusion, multi-domain connectivity, and rapid response intercepts, placing it among a handful of nations with such an architecture. Behind this visible hardware integration is a larger framework of bilateral defense cooperation. Chinese military advisors are reportedly embedded within Pakistani Air Force and Strategic Plans Division (SPD) units to oversee training, data integration, and software management for the HQ-19 network. Several Pakistani officers have also undergone training in Chinese military academies, learning systems engineering, satellite tracking, and C4ISR, command, control, communications, computers, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance protocols. Beijing is also helping Islamabad establish hardened underground command and control bunkers, satellite uplinks, and hardened launch sites designed to withstand preemptive strikes. A clear indication that the HQ-19 is not a symbolic gesture but a cornerstone of Pakistan's evolving deterrence matrix. Economically, the deal is embedded in a broader Chinese strategic assistance package. Facing economic headwinds and IMF constraints, Islamabad has reportedly been granted long-term deferred payments, low-interest defense loans, and partial offset arrangements including local assembly and technology transfer. Huawei and CTC, China Electronics Technology Group Corporation, are collaborating with Pakistan's Ministry of IT to enhance digital infrastructure needed to operate AI-based threat evaluation systems and real-time radar processing for the HQ-19's missile tracking network. Simultaneously, China has launched the Pak-China Defense Tech Corridor, a joint industrial initiative under CPC, where Pakistani engineers and Chinese technologists will co-develop components ranging from radar domes and thermal optics to encryption software and hardened electronics. These ventures underscore that the HQ-19 is not merely an imported system but a platform around which a domestic defense ecosystem is being cultivated. This alliance does not come without risks. Indian defense planners are acutely aware that the HQ-19 may tip the regional deterrence equation by reducing the effectiveness of India's land-based missile deterrent. Analysts in New Delhi have warned that this could lead to a renewed arms race, including accelerated deployment of submarine-launched ballistic missiles, SLBMs, the development of hypersonic cruise missiles, and expanded investment in anti-satellite, ASAT, weapons designed to cripple the very space-based early warning systems on which BMDs rely. US and Western analysts, too, are closely watching the HQ-19 deployment, concerned that China is field testing its most advanced military systems under live operational conditions, with Pakistan as the proving ground. This not only allows China to refine its weapons performance but also provides a forward-positioned security partner capable of applying pressure on India and projecting Chinese influence deep into the Indian Ocean region. Internally, some Chinese policymakers are said to have expressed caution. There are concerns that technology leakage, performance failure in a real-world conflict, or political instability in Pakistan could undermine the strategic value of the HQ-19 transfer. Moreover, there's growing unease that the close association between Pakistan's strategic forces and Chinese advisors might provoke stronger US and Indian countermeasures, such as tighter sanctions, advanced arms sales to India, or increased intelligence operations in Balochistan and Xinjiang. Yet, despite these risks, the momentum behind the HQ-19 deal appears irreversible, cemented by shared strategic goals, military interoperability, and a unified vision of counterbalancing Western dominance in Asia. As the HQ-19 is phased into operational readiness, its success or failure will carry enormous symbolic and strategic weight. Should it prove effective in intercepting Indian test launches, or demonstrate credible performance during regional skirmishes, it may encourage other countries, such as Turkey, Iran, and even Gulf states, to consider similar defense collaborations with Beijing. Should it falter, however, it could tarnish China's burgeoning arms export reputation and create vulnerabilities that adversaries could exploit. For Pakistan, the stakes are equally high. The HQ-19 represents not just a defense asset, but a declaration of strategic ambition, a bold signal that Islamabad intends not merely to survive in a hostile neighborhood but to thrive as a technologically empowered, digitally connected, and strategically autonomous power broker in the 21st century. In the long arc of military history, few defense transactions represent paradigm shifts. The HQ-19 deal, however, may well be one of them. It is a fusion of hardware and software, of diplomacy and doctrine, of aspiration and alliance. As Chinese radar domes rise across Pakistani military installations, and as Pakistani officers log into real-time data links that stretch from Gwadar to Xinjiang, one truth becomes evident. The China-Pakistan defense axis has entered a bold, uncharted chapter. One that may redraw maps, redefine doctrines, and realign the very future of Asian security.